So the injuries, Jay, it's significant for his legacy. It's really hurting his legacy.
Well, I don't think it doesn't hurt his legacy.
Doesn't help it.
It doesn't elevate it to maybe one of the greatest point guards ever. But the stats still speak for themselves, man. I mean, at the end of the day, my man's going to be one of the all-time leaders in assists, like the durability.
Yeah.
Like he'll still be seen as a point guard, in my opinion.
He's going to be like Isaiah Thomas is now that guy, the shorter, pure kind of point guard guy. But he'll be in a group with, and some of them have won championships, some of them haven't. Jason Kidd and Steve Nash and Gary Payton and a whole bunch of great point guards that Chris Paul will be in there with. What I'm saying is, Jay, if he had a chip or two.
I agree with you.
If he had a chip or two, he'd be mentioned.
Put the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Put the icing on the cake.
But see, I think it doesn't elevate it. I don't think it hurts it.
I think it brings him out of that category and into here's the first dude you're going to talk about who's not Magic or Steph.
See,
first dude you're going to talk about.
I don't think it hurts his case because Chris Paul is Chris Paul, and he can do a lot of different things on the basketball court. I think he's right now third all-time in assists. But you look at how he controls a team, how he gets everybody in position offensively, how tough he is defensively. You look at a guy like that. Now, I do agree with you. If he had a chip on his resume, it just cements a whole lot of other things.
You know who the answer to the next best point guard after Magic and Steph is? It's Isaiah, because he's got two. Because what distinguishes Isaiah is he was the best player on 2 championship teams, and he was a great point guard. That's why Isaiah kind of separates from John Stockton and everybody else we've seen. Chris Paul, you say it doesn't hurt him. I think it does, Jay, because his game is exactly what you think a point guard's game is. But what's the weakness?
And I say Isaiah did it in an era where it was tougher, especially for guys his size.
I'm just saying, Chris Paul, I think the chip separates him out from being lumped in. And now, being lumped in with all the greatest point guards ever is not a bad thing.
John Stockton one of the greatest point guards of all time?
He is, yeah.
Okay, John Stockton never won an NBA championship.
That's right, and Isaiah's
I
usually ahead of Stockton because of that.
See, I don't, and this is probably going to throw people off. I for some reason with smaller guards like that, I don't look at them as the same as I would look at as if LeBron or Magic never had a championship.
I understand that.
There's almost some because realistically at 6'1", how dynamic AI never got.
But AI took the worst team anyone ever saw in the final, and the only team to beat the Lakers that year at all. In the playoffs,
you're not saying that's going to hurt. Did that hurt AI's legacy to you?
I think if Iverson would have won a chip, he probably would be the next guy spoken of.
But see, for me as a real hooper, I already think AI is. I think AI is one of the most gifted players the game of basketball has ever seen.
AI was
and I know normal
the greatest
people would
player
say,
of all time.
"Oh, he doesn't have the chance." But as somebody who played this game, you don't need to do that to own your time in the space of the greats that have ever done this.
But I'll bet you if I asked you to list the greatest point guards of all time, AI, because he doesn't have the chip, is not as high as he would be if he had
AI would be
one.
on my list. CP3 would be on my list.
No doubt. But sports fans.
But they can't compete against a LeBron James.
I'm talking about against other point guards, Jay. Okay. Against other point guards. The fact that Steph got multiple chips elevates him to people. It does. Right? I mean, I hear you, but sports fans are obsessed with hierarchy. That's the whole point. You put it in order. You play to see who's better and who goes where. So I hear you. It's like there's a whole group of guys you'd love to have any of them.
I mean,
Steph can also shoot 30-footers like no other.
So let's go through it. So if you want to have LeBron James in, it's fine. Yeah. LeBron James won?
Yeah, but he's not really considered a point guard. But I
Magic
think
Johnson too?
Yeah.
Okay. Big O, Oscar Robertson.
I put him behind Steph in his day.
Jerry West, you got him in there?
Somewhere, but I think of more
Stephen
of as a 2.
Curry's in there?
I think West is
Stephen
2.
Curry's in there?
Steph is 3 to me.
Okay. Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah's 4 to me.
All right, then Steve Nash?
He's somewhere in the group with the others.
CP3 higher than Steve Nash?
I don't know.
Jason Kidd?
Kidd, Nash, CP3, they're all in there somewhere.
Kidd's higher.
He's
on the verge of being a top 5 point guard of all time. That's
Who?
what I'm trying to tell you. CP3.
That's what I'm saying. But if he got a chip, he's in that top 5. To me.
But see, I think he already
He already is.
Yeah, I think he already is. I just think if he got
sure?
the chip, he'll be in the top, what would you say?
I don't know if he's going to be in the top 2. If we got Magic,
Top 3.
LeBron,
But most people don't consider LeBron. You could take
Steph?
LeBron out. For me, it's LeBron. But
Steph.
it's Magic,
I don't know if CP3
Oscar
will ever
Robertson,
be seen. I don't know
Isaiah.
if CP3 will ever be seen as a better point guard than Steph. Even though their games are so different, I know it's hard to qualify point guard, but the way Steph has changed the game.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like people wouldn't be able to get by that.
So leave
right?
Steph alone. Yeah.
Like he's right there.
But you mentioned Kidd, Nash, Stockton, Gary Payton. You could throw in a whole bunch of guys. Even in this era, James Harden, is he a point guard? Really, he is a point guard.
Maybe only Jason Kidd is the only guy I would say CP3 is 5 for me.
All right.
I don't see CP3 getting over those guys.
Maybe not, but there are other guys who we may need to get over still to other people.
Okay.
Chips do matter to me, and I think to fans, because it indicates you could be the best player, one of the two best players on a championship team. You're displaying some kind of greatness, especially if you've been on a gang of good teams like CP3 has. And what I'm arguing, Jay, is not that he's not good enough. It's that he's been hurt. This whole thing started with he's had the bad luck of getting hurt at the wrong time. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.